how apt it's a beautiful day outside. You might be able to hear the birds singing. That series 3 of Clarkson's Farm has just finished. I've watched it all, and here's my take on it. Interesting, it was released in 2 blocks, 4 episodes, then another 4 episodes a week later, and it follows the annual story of Jeremy Clarkson's farm near Chipping Norton. It's quite interesting what Clarkson says. It they're going to do one show a year because it covers an entire farming year. And what started out, I think, as a bit of a wheeze for old Jezza has turned into a very, very serious change of lifestyle. He said in this series he dreads going to London now because he likes country life so much. Look, I'll make it no secret, I've always been entertained by Clarkson. I think whatever his gaffes and pitfalls and views, he is a very good broadcaster. I think Clarkson's Farm's probably his greatest work. We're talking about Top Gear, the Grand Tour, Meet the Neighbours. That strange chat show he had isn't part of that group. But Series 3 really undermines the brutality and sadness of farming. A slight spoiler here, but they start breeding pigs and some of the pigs die. And it's very, very sad. It's really sad. It's kind of, it doesn't sugarcoat anything. And it really brings home the really hard work farmers do. Now, I'm a chartered surveyor and I've met lots of farmers over the years. I used to be a land agent also for a railway engineering firm. So I used to try and do land deals to get across farmers' fields to the railway and all sorts of shenanigans with them. And I always found them extremely practical, some of them a little bit eccentric, but quite caring people. I always enjoyed dealing with farmers. Their agents, not so. When this is my agents getting involved, it's like, ooh, it's going to get a bit hard work now. But the farmers were great. I've dealt with lots over the years with work, and it is a very, very harsh way to earn a living. And people think, there's the old farmer there smoking a pipe, sitting back drinking a pint of cider. No, I think it's I used to do a lot of work in Cumbria with sheep farming. When they were lambing, that was really, really a 24-hour operation. It was pretty grim, in pretty harsh conditions. Anyway, Clarkson's Farm, I think, has been great again this season. The big star is obviously Caleb Cooper. I think we need far more people like Caleb in this country who are practically minded, hard-working, and have a cheerful demeanour about them. What a good guy. What a good guy Caleb is. And he's really the breakout star. And what is he? He's a hard-working young man. And very good at what he does, he seems to be. Jezza's Jezza. Some few amusing accidents. Gets kicked in the balls by a goat, which is, I think, is quite funny. Now, there have been comments that it's staged and scripted. They say not. They say they just put a camera out there and record it. I think some of it may be a little bit in the farm shot put on for the camera, but what you can't put on is the way the weather affects farming, and this has been very much about the change in the weather. It's not been preachy about climate change. Last summer was awful in the UK. It just rained all last summer, and how it really affected crop yields. And in every series, all 3 series, the last episode looks at the economics, how much they make. And I'm not going to tell you how much they make in this series, but it's all got to be reinvested to buy seed, fertiliser. Yeah, it's a thankless task. And at the end they say, why do we do this? And they say, well, it's a way of life. It really is. And I'm not going to go. It's got a nice group of characters. Jezza, Lisa, and her love of form filling in, who's Jeremy's partner. Cheerful Charlie, the farm agents, who I'd hate to see what fees he's charging for these regular visits to the farm, or whether there's some agreement, because Charlie's very sensibly started wearing some branded workwear to promote his own company, and good luck to him. There's Gerald. Got some health problems in this, and it's quite upsetting. the builder, or is it Chris the builder, I can't remember his name, and of course Caleb, and a cast of lots of animals. And it's, as a lot of people say, we have a program in the UK called Country File that shines a spotlight on rural life, and you learn more from watching one series of Clarkson's Farm than you'd have in 30 years of Country File. And because I trained as a chartered surveyor, we were encouraged to watch Country File as a student, and it's a little bit twee. Yeah, yeah, but if you want to learn more about farming, the harshness of farming, and the economic reality of why food prices are going up, there's economic shocks in the world. Price of fertiliser, price of grain, the grain they make, the price has gone up, so it kind of somewhat evens it out a little bit. They have a bad crop in Northern Europe last year. So it's economically and business-wise, it's a very interesting programme. My wife does not care for Jeremy Clarkson, but she says it's an interesting programme, and if she'll sit and watch Clarkson for an hour, well, it must be a good programme. So yeah, it doesn't sugarcoat it. Has it been the best series? I think they've all been equally as good as each other. It's interesting. I'm going to go now and watch series 1 again, where Jeremy was really clueless. And it's interesting to see how his mindset's changed. Series 3, 3 years of farming has probably changed the guy forever. And as I said, he said, of course, goes to London last week. He said, I hate going to London now, I dread it. He likes country life so much. So big hats off to all farmers out there. I've really enjoyed Series 3 of Clarkson's Farm, and I hope it continues. It is a bit frustrating that your favourite programme, it takes so long to make, and Jeremy was on TV months ago saying, we can't rush this because it takes a full year to record, then edit, and so we are looking at the farming year, ending harvest 2023 for this series. So we're basically 9 months behind, but we can't speed up time, we can't change the weather. So yeah, if you're interested in rural matters, if you're interested in business, I would recommend Clarkson's Farm. Yeah, it's your usual tomfoolery with Jeremy and electric fences and getting kicked in the balls by animals and making a mess of things, but it's interesting just what challenges farmers have. And he admits, I've got other incomes that keep me going. If this was your sole income, if farming was your sole income, you'd be worried. You really would. You really would. So, thanks to everyone at Diddley Squat Farm for the series on Amazon Prime. It's a beautifully shot photograph, some of the landscape shots, and it's released in HD. It's a beautiful looking show. And Jeremy Clarkson's just been voted the second year on the bounce, the UK's sexiest man. So you can look at the UK's sexiest man in high definition as well. So there you go, season 3 of Clarkson's Farm, highly recommended. Thanks for watching. We review all sorts of things on this channel, films. If I go to shows, I'll review that. I do have another channel where I look at food and I've done a bit of cooking in the past. Cooking in front of a video camera, that's hard work. It really is, trying to concentrate on 2 things at once. And of course my works channel, which covers the world of chartered surveying for trainee chartered surveyors. So if anybody's works in property or construction and is interested in becoming a chartered surveyor or is working towards it, or is already one, there's lots of free training resources on that channel, and I thought I'd give my own channels a shout out today. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you put something in the comments that's polite, I will respond. Nasty comments, I will delete. My channel, my rules. So there you go, you have been told. But I do love to hear from people who want to comment, and it's great to hear from you, and I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for watching as well. Take care, and I'll see you real soon down on the farm.